Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Anna Chiara.
I'm Francesca.
I'm Chiara. And today we're gonna react to what it's like to be a billionaire in India. We know in India there are a lot of very rich people, there are a lot of poor people, but there are also a lot of very, very rich people. So we guess there are a lot of billionaires. And we are curious to see how they live in their country. So let's jump in.
While China and the United States have been battling it out on who houses the most billionaires, quietly over the years, India has been ranking in more and more members into the uber elite class. Yet, at the same time, the wealth gap between the rich and the average Indian citizen is increasing. But what is life like for the rich in the Asian country?
I'm sure there's a lot of billionaires.
That's what we're going to explore
so
today.
Many people
We'll
in India
examine
that
the perks and struggles of holding a fortune in India. And we'll see some of the most exorbitant purchases that have taken place in India.
So let's get started. In the world, the one in India that it.
Between 2010 to 2017, India was reportedly adding a new billionaire into their ranks every 33 days on average.
Okay.
Back in 2000, the nation had only 9 billionaires. In 2017, the nation had 101 billionaires residing within. According to Forbes' most recent look at countries with the most billionaires, India now has 140 billionaires. This figure puts them in 3rd place in the world rankings, beating Germany, which has 136 billionaires. At the time of the list being published, India's richest held a collective $596 billion between them. This was a 90% increase from the previous year, when it was $313 billion.
Which,
the person at top
kind of makes sense, because in one of the videos that we saw that was raised in India, I think, we were seeing that India is one of the places in the world that is really raising its economy, and there's literally an economic boom happening there.
It's growing so fast.
It's growing really fast. So it matches with what they're saying in this video, because I bet all of these billionaires maybe are some of the founder of this huge company, or they're just making money because of the economic boom, I guess.
Yeah, like in the last 20 years, there's been a boom.
Tops India's richest list is Mukesh Ambani. He made his fortune being the majority shareholder and chairman of the conglomerate Reliance Industries. The company also created one of the country's biggest telecommunication companies, Jio. Due to all this, at the time of writing, Ambani has an estimated net worth of $79.7 billion, making him the richest person in India and in all of Asia. Currently, the second richest person in India is Gautam Adani and his family. The majority of his fortune stems from being the founder and chairman of Adani Group. He also owns the coal mine Abbot Point, Mundra Port, and has a 74% stake in Mumbai International Airport. At the time of writing, he and his family have an estimated net worth of $55.9 billion. The industrialist Shiv Nadar made his cash from co-founding the IT firm HCL Technologies. Like Jeff Bezos' Amazon, HCL was also created in a garage. Due to forming HCL, Nadar is currently the 3rd richest person in India. At the time of writing, he has a net worth of $25.6 billion. On top of his business acumen, Nadar has also funneled a reported $662 million into his Shiv Nadar Foundation. The rich in India are seemingly looking to leave the country. In 2015, it was discovered by New World Wealth that India had the 2nd highest number of millionaires leaving their country.
Why?
Number 1 was China. Between 2000 and 2014, 61,000 of India's top earners had moved abroad. The favored nations to move to include the US, the UK, Australia, and the UAE. The reasons for leaving stem from security concerns, tax increases, and the desire for better education possibilities for their children. In 2019, 7,000 millionaires left the country for newer pastures. The citizen residency advisory firm Henley & Partners claimed in February 2021 that Indian nationals were the most active in inquiring with them on such programs as citizenship by investment or residence by investment. This is essentially when a person will receive citizenship or permission to reside within a country in exchange for financial investment of some kind. The top countries that Indians thought about going to include Canada, Portugal, and Austria. One of the most popular packages in Europe is the Portugal Golden Residence Permit Program. As long as a person spends at least 350,000 euros, around $412,000 on real estate, they will gain a residency permit. As for the expensive items that India's richest have splashed the cash on, we first have Antilia Tower. It's billed as the most expensive home in the world. So with a title like that, of course it's the home of the richest Indian national, Mukesh Ambani. With 27 stories, the tower was constructed in 2010 and overlooks the city of Mumbai.
Doesn't look
Some
like
features
good
include
though.
3 helipads,
I don't like it.
cinema, 9 elevators, and a grand ballroom. According to one of the architects on the project, the construction cost nearly $2 billion.
Vertical garden.
Yet there's been claims of it being as high as $5 billion. In 2010, for 1 month, it was discovered that the electricity bill was a massive $109,000. When people from loaded families get married, they like to go all out when it comes to their special day. In 2016, Brahmani, the daughter of Gali Janardana Reddy, was getting married, so they held a 5-day lavish wedding. Altogether, the event reportedly cost around $74 million. This drew the ire of Indian citizens as this happened during a cash flow crisis. Brahmani's sari is said to have cost $2.5 million, while the jewelry she wore amounted to $13 million. Then in 2018, there was the Ambani Piramal wedding. Isha, the daughter of Mukesh Ambani, married Anand, the son of billionaire Ajay Piramal. A number of celebrities were guests, including Hillary Clinton, Deepika Padukone, and Sachin Tendulkar. Even Beyonce was there to perform.
What?
There were reports that the wedding cost up to $100 million, while others claim it was closer to $15 million. Private jets have always been a favorite toy amongst billionaires. In 2015, consulting firm Frost & Sullivan claimed that 12% of the world's private plane market was made up of Indian nationals. In that same year, around 142 planes were estimated to be owned by Indians. According to reports, some of these jets went up to $310 million in value. Canadian plane creators Bombardier estimated to deliver 1,215 planes to India between 2014 to 2033. The managing director and chairman of the Raymond Group, Gautam Singhania, had his net worth estimated as high as $1.4 billion in his career. He happens to be one such billionaire that has a plane. In 2016, he reportedly owned a Bombardier Challenger 600. At the time, these jets cost up to $21 million. While the affluent in India are getting richer, the wealth isn't exactly trickling down to the average citizen. In fact, all the extra capital for the billionaires has actually increased the inequality gap. In 2018, Oxfam examined the growing divide in India. They found that the top 10% of the country's wealthiest controlled 77% of the total national wealth, with 73% of the wealth generated going to the top 1%.
Wow.
While the poorest half of the population only saw their wealth increase by 1%. Oxfam found that for a minimum wage worker in rural India to reach the yearly salary of a highly paid executive, it would take that worker 941 years. After all, the lowest paid citizens often make less than $5 per day. The recent global situation has worked in India's billionaires' favor. In the space of a year from 2020 to 2021, a number of wealthy had their net worths increase massively. Mukesh Ambani's reportedly rose as much as $15 billion, while Gautam Adani's net worth increased by $13 billion. By the end of 2020, the top 1% of earners reportedly controlled 40.5% of the nation's wealth, a rise of 7% from 2000, according to Credit Suisse. Final fact finish. The most expensive piece of art created by an Indian artist was sold in March 2021. Via the auction house Saffron Art, the untitled work of V.S. Gaitande from 1961 went for around $5.5 million. That record was very nearly short-lived, as the 1931 work titled In the Lady's Enclosure by Amrita Shergill was sold in July 2021 for $5.14 million. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
I mean, it's cool to see this type of video, but it makes you feel bad somehow, because you see this country that are a lot of poor people, and then you see these super rich people, and it's hard to get how this work and work this way. I mean, the gap between rich and poor is too big. And also, like, you think, okay, maybe they're super rich, but they're bringing wealth to their country, so they are slowly, things are getting better also for the poorest people. But then you see they're all leaving their country to pay less tax and all this stuff, and it's like, it's a bit sad. I mean, I don't know, I leave you with something bad when you watch this type of things. I don't know how to explain it.
To me, it just makes me want to do a lot of discussion about it, and it's not an easy topic to talk about because I think there's a lot of factors that plays in. So on one side, I feel like if a private person makes a fortune because of his work, his intuition, maybe his luck, whatever it is, then I understand that money makes money. So when you have a lot of money and you invest your money and there's a growth in your country, of course you're getting richer and richer. Then on the other hand, I'm like, you live in a country where you can see how your life standards, it's not even comparable to most of the country, okay? Then I think when you're a private person that made his own fortune, it's not your job to bring equality in your country. That is the politician's job. On the other hand, you always feel like people should have empathy and should want the best for all the people, whether it's in your country and whether it's out of your country, because of course it's not because of my country we are all well, I don't feel bad and I don't feel like there's a lot of not equality in the world. There's war happening. Even if they're out of my country, you think about those people. So it's kind of like, okay, you have that power, try to make things better. Then I don't want to hate on these people just for being rich, because that's not their job to make their country better. They could do it and that would make them probably better people, but I don't blame it on them. I don't know if they're good people or bad people. I don't know all of these really rich people. So it always brings a lot of discussion when you see this kind of video. So I try to just take it on the easier side and be like, oh, okay, that's really fun. Look how extravagant life they're living, and try not to get too deep, because
yeah, I agree on that, because I think different from you. I'm like, it's true, when you are super rich, it's not like people outside your country work less than people inside your country, but it's easier to forget people far away from you. But when you're super rich and you drive with, I don't know, your big car in a street where you can really see people around the street that are super poor, in that case, I blame on you if you do nothing and you spend 100 million on your daughter's wedding instead of doing something.
It's sort of like they don't even want to see it. They go away because they don't want to see the problems.
To me, it's
they
like,
don't feel bad maybe, so they go in rich country where...
Yeah, it's like, it's not your job, but it is. So it's like, I kind of blame these people, but at them, I don't know them. We just saw this video, so maybe they're doing like a lot of charity and they're doing a lot of good. So, but it still make you think, because it's like, okay, you're spending all this money for a wedding. I mean, that's what we saw, just for the wedding, and then
how can that be good? Like, how can you think that it's okay to spend 50 million on one day for one person, where those 50 million could really make an impact on a community that is a really poor community?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, and there are a lot of rich people in Europe where we live, and it's not okay that they spend a lot of money in maybe in wedding, the same thing, you know, and it's the same problem, of course.
It's a very controversial problem, because there's a lot of sides to it.
Yeah, it's not easy to just take one side and just say that, but it was a video that make us, you know.
I like seeing these kind of videos where we're like, okay, oh, funny, cool, and then it actually make us want to talk about it and make us discuss about things. Yeah. It's interesting.
I think at the end is the end of everything, like of this discussion, is like, you think it's responsibility of other people to take care of, I mean, you're rich or you're poor or whatever you are, but do you have to take care of other people? Yes or no? Then you use what you have. So if you're super rich, you should use. I mean,
I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. What's your thought? If you think that is the richer people responsibility,
but not richer.
Not
it's like
actually
people,
everyone.
Yeah, everyone. That's what I mean. It's like
because it's not like if you make more than $100,000 a year, then you have to, and if you're poorer than that, then you don't have to.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like
that's at the end is that the answer. If you think people should help people, then you think like average people should help poorest people, and the very rich people should help a lot of people.
Otherwise, we are
because
always
most of them are poorest than them.
Otherwise, we are always waiting for someone else to do good.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you because I think we all live in one world, so everyone has the responsibility to help the others. If I just have a little or more, I have to help the others who have less than me, and that's all.
Yeah, that's a point of view, and I think that is actually what it's supposed to be, and I think it's really important. You know, it's sometimes you always wait for someone who has a lot, so it makes us angry to see people who has so much that don't help other. But I think in reality, we don't have to blame all to them.
No,
but all of us should do something. It just
that's what I was saying. It's like if you see, if you think people should help people, then you should help other people, and
you shouldn't.
They should help more because they have more chance to do it than you. Yeah, but you should do it too.
The fact is, if I can help, like giving away 20% of what I own, it doesn't make an impact. If they give away 20% of what they own, that can make an impact. But I think sometimes we tend to blame all on them because we think, oh, they have so much. No, because if you take it in perspective, and if we all give away 20%, that is a lot for everyone. But sometimes we only expect certain people to do things for others. That's, I think, what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I get that. But I think it's like, if you see something wrong, I think you should act. You're rich, you're poor, whatever, you should act.
Yeah.
I know it's really naive, a naive way of thinking, but you know, people can still hope that the world can be a better place, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not really something that can happen, that everybody start taking care of other people and be good and whatever. I get that. It's not possible, but still it should be like that. Even if it's never gonna be like that, it should. Well guys, thank you for watching us. Please let us know what you think about this topic. If you agree more with me and Chiara or more with Francesca. Our opinions are pretty similar but slightly different, so let us know your opinion too. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram, and put a like if you like the video and if you want to see more of our content. And see you in the next video.
Ciao! Ciao.